welcome to IMI Insights, the podcast where we discuss emerging ideas and trends in businesses with our faculty. It is no secret that AI and automation is transforming how businesses happen, and marketing is no exception. Customer retention marketing, which is a core of marketing, has also been impacted by this. Joining us today is Professor Parvinder Arora, who is an assistant professor of marketing at IMI, and she'll share her insights on how AI and automation is redefining customer retention marketing. Hello and welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
So, very interesting to read your article and learn about how retention is sort of transforming. But can you tell us exactly how the definition of it is changing now that AI has come into the play?
So, if you remember in my last article, we just discussed about what is retention marketing and
Right.
how all the consumer journeys are getting automated. In this article, specifically after a year, we have seen massive transformation because of AI,
Mhm.
and retention is utilizing it in full potential because they are using these platforms, which are known as CDP platforms, customer data platforms, to store consumer data. So now with AI, what is happening is all those consumer journey where a marketer was making a segment, marketers were actually putting in the copy and running it on
Yeah.
different platforms. It is becoming automating. Also, what is happening is those segments used to be formed by marketers,
Mhm.
as I discussed, but now AI is telling you that which segment will actually do the next purchase, what is gonna happen, when are they gonna churn. All of those things are getting massively transformed. The role of marketer is shifting towards strategy more rather than
Mhm.
execution. So this is what we are happening, and this is what is happening in retention. Now these platforms are not just cutting out the roles, but they are basically giving us time and space to think about brand voices and also about what our brands stand for, and know and bring that personalization to a single person. So you are not just creating segment for a larger cohort, you are creating that consumer journey
Mhm.
for a single customer.
So it's more personalized.
Exactly.
So, of course, when we talk about retention marketing, there's a lot of data that one looks at. So now with AI coming in, it's not just data unification, but they're also giving you insights into the data. So how is this now changing the role of marketing teams?
So before, what used to happen is we used to look at the past data.
Mhm.
What was the retention past month? What was happening past month? How many consumers churned? How many consumers actually engaged with us? But now it is becoming real time. Now you do not need to 100% rely on data team. These CDP platforms, with the help of AI, gives you data in the form that you can read it at the real time. You can understand what consumer is gonna do in the real time, and you can take decisions in the real time
Right.
basis. You do not need to just look at past 1 week data or past 15-day
Mhm.
data. You can actually see what is happening right now,
Mhm.
and they will give you the prediction of, okay, this consumers did not engage, and this did not perform what the goal was of that particular uh, ad, or for example that campaign.
Right.
They let you actually predict and see, okay, now next these are the steps you can take. You can offer them vouchers if they are not engaging at all, or for example they are looking for a particular product and you did not find it, they will help you to actually predict and tell you that, okay, these are the products next they are going to
Mhm.
look for, and you can do that. And it's happening in especially digital first businesses like quick commerce,
Right.
e-commerce, and banking.
So, along with data, of course, there's other creative work that goes into marketing retention, whether it's creating the messages, the sort of designing the creatives, and all of that. So, all of that is also, as we see, being heavily automated right now. So, what does now this mean for people who are in these roles? Are they going to get different opportunities, or, how does their work sort of look like now?
So before this, before AI, obviously the creative team used to spend a day in creating one static
Right.
for a campaign.
Mhm.
But now, because of AI, they can actually prompt and that creative will come in. But it's not like that their role is cut off, or they are now spending a lot of time in actually putting that brand voice, and also understanding that if we have given that clue to the AI, is that output similar to what our brand stand for? So obviously, the churn rate and the whole cycle is reduced, but still the creative team is responsible for the edits. Otherwise, you will be same as any other brand,
Yeah.
and all the things will be quite linear there, and where you will stand out. There, the creative team will actually give them better prompt or do the editing work. So AI can create a skeleton for you and reduce the output time, but it cannot exactly replace the human empathy and the
Right.
creativity which a person brings in.
So I think it'll be right to say that it might reduce the man hours, but obviously the sort of thought process has to come from the creative team.
Exactly. Even for strategy, even for analytics, AI is making things simpler for us. But for next 1 or 2 years, it will not completely take over. Obviously, I cannot predict what will happen after
Yes.
2 years. But for now, what the future is looking like, that consumer journeys will be automated. Creative process will have a shorter time now. Brands will not spend lot of time in shooting statics, for example. They are doing it with the help of AI, but human touch, human requirement is still there. The creative process, what your brand stand for, the brand voice, everything will be done by obviously humans there. And also there are so many regulation which you need to follow. There can be a copyright thing because AI learn from the data which is
Yes.
available. So there humans will actually guide them that okay, it is not actually doing the infringement or the copyright infringement is happening there. So this will all be done by AI here, by humans here, not by AI. So that hand in hand process will go on, I believe, at least for next 2 to 3 years, and obviously the future will tell us more.
So of course, we see that AI is also giving us these predictive churn models. So, what does that mean when it comes to making decisions now for marketing teams?
Uh, with this predictive models, what is happening right now is you can actually allocate your budget better. If you know that this segment is gonna churn, you can actually give them tailored solution so that they remain on your platform. Or you can actually put that budget in the segment which is gonna perform better for you. Also, you can allocate that budget to the acquisition, and this whole loop can be optimized better. As I was discussing, obviously AI is helping the retention marketer there, but every retention actually starts from acquisition. So now even in the acquisition platforms like Google and Meta, they take help of AI and tell us which segment or which sort of persona has bought this sort of a product, and we can actually allocate our budgets there,
Right.
and it completes the loop, increase CLTV for brands. So this actually help us to take better decisions and optimize our budgets in a line. Yeah.
So, of course, we have the insights that AI gives us, it automates our work. But then, how does AI efficiency and human empathy sort of work together in this scenario?
Whatever roles we discussed till now, AI will obviously reduce the timelines that we are looking at. Obviously, it will reduce the manual task which a team is doing, but human intervention will be everywhere. Whether it's a creative process, whether it's deciding on the segments and keeping that brand voice, and that empathy will actually differentiate a brand. Because every brand, every brand voice, every brand persona is very different, and there are a lot of studies which predict that if humans feel that this brand is very repetitive or it's very agentic in nature, they do not respond to such brands. They want that human connection and human empathy. So if human intervention is not there, brand voice can be lost, because every brand, every business is using AI now. So for even for analytics, even for your segmentation, even for your creative process, that human intervention will be everywhere.
So, brand voice will obviously play a very big role in this sort of a scenario, right? So, now when you talk about AI and, human interaction going hand in hand, you say that a lot of strategy roles is what people will be getting into now. So, what roles do you see being very specifically, reserved for people in the marketing teams now?
I would say that AI will not replace humans, but you need to be good at the technology that you are working with. People who understand AI can work with that interface. People who know how to give better commands and actually understand what is happening behind, how they are learning, and who can actually train these systems better, will obviously do wonders in their career. Obviously, there are new sort of roles which are coming up, and these roles are not working in silos.
Right.
There is a lot of integration which is happening. For example, there is a lot of roles which are coming in who are, for example, who can help to actually give commands better to AI, people who can understand data better. There are people required who can do the creative process with the help of AI so that we can reduce that timeline. So it is everywhere, and obviously people who understand AI, who are actually upskilling themselves, will do wonders. And there are a lot of prediction like that hierarchical roles are actually melting, and we are moving towards that neural path sort of roles even in AI. It's not like that tech role will be handled by people who just know tech. Even someone who is not used to code a lot but can actually deal with AI is also working in an AI team, or for example, someone who is in a creative team, but they need to actually know these tech better so that they can work uh, in in an integration rather than in silos. So that is what is happening. That hierarchical thing is going away, and tech team, marketing team, even the acquisition team, they are working in hand to utilize all the platforms which are available. So it's not like that we have a channel specific teams nowadays,
Right.
that okay, this team will just handle WhatsApp, or this team will just handle emails, or this team will just look at the loyalty programs, or the what is happening in product. Every team is actually working together. There is a lot of synergy which is there. The product team is actually working with the CRM team, and making it better for the whole consumers. And also a lot of integration is happening when you are trying to improve your product. There also the CRM team is coming up with their insights, because they are dealing with the consumers all the time. So we see that a lot of hierarchical things are moving up, and that integration is coming up in a big way.
So, this is a very interesting shift. And of course, does this mean that the organizational structure of marketing teams will also change, not just like the organization as a whole, right?
Like true, like even organizations are becoming quite integrated in nature. uh, there used to be a time when a product team used to work quite separately, and people used to believe that okay, just coders are required. A lot of AI generalists are coming up. They are not just helping the marketing team, they are also helping the product team. Now if we talk about specifically about marketing
Yes.
structure, uh, we see now that acquisition retention becomes a big header, and they are working together. There is no specific channel which is handled by a specific team, and they are not talking to each other, because you are actually running all of these channels together. Even as we discussed, acquisition is working simultaneously with retention, and all of these budgets are actually allocated to a team, and then you can how utilize it better. So we see a lot of shift which is happening there. Now a lot of companies are still stuck to the basic consumer journeys which were happening, but this AI shift has been brought up by the CDP platforms like WebEngage and CleverTap and MoEngage. Brands are adapting it slowly, and they are building those teams. We see 20% or 30% of consumer journey and these campaigns which are running are by AI. I believe that percentage will increase many-fold in the coming next year, which we'll see.
So, of course, there is no escaping AI and automation. You're definitely going to have to use it, and marketing teams will have to use it for their customer retention journeys, right? So, in the next 5 to 10 years, if we look at industries or businesses, which of these industries and businesses will actually benefit from this AI and automation in their retention journeys?
Uh, Whatever industry is digital first is gonna use AI like anything. Especially e-commerce, quick commerce, they have abundant consumer data. consumers are buying from their basic grocery item to the big household items on this e-commerce and from quick commerce. They will be the one who will be using this AI automation a lot. They are still using it, but obviously integrating it with AI to basically personalize it for consumers, better cataloging it for consumers so that they can find the products which they are looking for. And obviously, nowadays, AI has become so advanced that they can even predict at which temperature or at which time you need that product. For example, as soon as a festival comes in or there is a rainy day, brands are actually pushing products to you, categorized and actually personalized to your level. So these industry will be the first. And obviously fintech is one platform which is using AI a lot. Banking is another. Obviously in B2B sector, that shift will be little slower because consumer data is little less there. The buying process is little longer, and obviously there the human intervention is much larger because you need that one-on-one touch, because still the amount of transaction we do on B2B is much larger, but still they are utilizing these platforms. But I believe e-commerce, quick commerce, fintech, banking are the one which are obviously using these AI integration a lot, and there will be a big shift in how they actually recommend products to you, how they will present their brand voice and personalization to you. We'll see the big shift in these 3 4 industries a lot.
So this is very interesting, and your article definitely sort of chalks out the future that we are looking at in terms of AI and automation integration and marketing, especially when it comes to retention. But just out of curiosity, I want to know, like, a lot of AI, like you said, AI uses data that already exists. So are companies, businesses also at a risk of being very monotonous and not really having an individual brand voice in trying to sort of personalize everything for, every unique customer? Is that sort of a threat, or is that like a, problem that they could be looking at?
Exactly, because everyone is using personalization,
Yes.
everyone is using recommendation, and people who are always chronically online, always they are escaping ads, they are escaping that targeting. But I believe brands which will have better balance will survive, will have better repeat purchases, and will have a better brand image in the mind of consumers, because they are looking for personalization, but they are not looking for intrusiveness.
Yes.
So brands need to actually differentiate between personalization and intrusiveness. And obviously, brands who will use consumer data sensibly and also legally will actually survive this race. So obviously that balance is somewhere which every brand is trying to figure out, that at what level are we becoming intrusive and where are we being a good recommender for the brand. That is where the concept of creativity, storytelling, and also being human comes in. So brands who will have that better balance will survive. We see there are so many brands, for example in the fintech, for example Ditto, they do a lot of organic marketing. They do not push you, they do not do that intrusive messaging. Even they are utilizing these WhatsApp channels, but they do it in a very balanced way where brand voice is clear, that we want to educate you about the insurance industry. We want our consumers to take a better decision, but we do not want to become intrusive. Whereas there are certain brands who are highly intrusive once they get your data.
Yeah.
So brands, if they want to have that good image, if they want to actually survive in a long term and have good brand resonation, I believe that balance will be a key where all will create that differentiation.
Okay. So thank you so much. This has been very interesting, and I'm sure people in marketing and branding will definitely look forward to, learning more about this concept.
Yeah, thank
So
you.
thank
Thank you
you.
so much.